Hi, I'm Kelsey Milbourn. I'm creator and writer of La Maupin, The French Abomination. A little bit about myself. I am a queer, non-binary, bisexual identifying human. My pronouns are she, they. And I initially started thinking about and processing writing about a queer human in history when I started listening to some history podcasts during 2020 when we were all bored. And Julie Diabonet was one of the first historical figures on these podcasts that kind of piqued my interest, not only because she was a very openly queer, bisexual human in the 1600s, but also because she felt gender fluid in her experience without having the words for gender fluidity. And I identified so much with her. And I felt like living in Texas, we needed more queer artists and we needed more queer theater that was representative of our community. And the best way to do that is to find other people who have done it before us. And Julie felt like the right fit. So I had a conversation with Jeff. I remember being really giddy about it and wanting to talk about it. And Jeff listened to me and thought that my passion was something that he wanted to invest in, and that the story sounded like something we could really do together. And so he challenged me to finish writing, and I did in a very short amount of time. And it just flowed. It felt really good to be writing about this human that I identified so much with in a modern era. Which was cool because it felt like I was doing a little bit of justice for her, because she very much was a character that was ahead of her time. It was like she was not in the right era for who she was and for being loved and represented for who she was. And so I felt just that constant flow of creativity and being able to write about her cool life. And it was really important to me when we were casting to have queer and non-binary identifying humans, not only because I want to cast more people like that, because I feel like that was an opportunity to do that for my community, because it's something that I would want for myself, but also because of the gender norms that we are still battling and we're still fighting in society for. And it felt really cool to play with the 1600s gender norms and how similar they are to gender norms here in this time. But there's that permission to exist as we are, even though we still get some flack for existing for who we are. So I got to play with gender norms in the show, and movement has always been huge for me. And so I got to basically write a movement play with some French, because I wanted the original language that Julie would have spoken in the play, and cast queer non-binary people. And it just came together and it was beautiful. And it's one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on. So that's me in a nutshell, and my play in a very small nutshell. I have so much more to share. I love doing this project. I'm excited to see where it goes.